Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. Steve here, and today I've got a collection of clips ranging from spirits possessing kids to attack their parents to strange masses captured in our atmosphere. These are sure to leave you shocked, yet craving more. Ready? Well, let's jump in. We start today's episode with this eerie video shared by a man who was out for an evening walk. He was enjoying what seemed like a peaceful night until something caught his eye. Hidden among the dense bushes was a figure that sent chills down his spine. It looked like a man, but something was off. The figure had a long gray beard and glowing eyes that pierced through the darkness. What made it even more unsettling was the man's attire. A long black robe that seemed out of place for someone lurking in the bushes at that time of night. As the man pointed his camera toward the figure, the strange individual suddenly stood up as if startled by being spotted. But instead of confronting the person filming, he crouched back down quickly, almost like he was trying to hide or avoid being caught on camera. There was a certain eerie silence surrounding the encounter, making it all the more disturbing. What was this figure doing out there in the middle of the night, hidden behind the bushes? The way he disappeared into the shadows leaves so many unanswered questions. Could this be a mysterious hermit, a lost soul, or perhaps something more supernatural? A woman had sliced some oranges and left them on a plate on her table. When she returned, something strange was hovering above the fruit. At first, she thought it was a moth, then a butterfly, but on closer inspection, it looked more like a bird. However, the size was puzzling. It was much smaller than any bird she'd ever seen. This mysterious creature had feathers that seemed to blend the characteristics of both insects and birds. Its long, slender mouth was similar to a mosquito's proboscis, and it had a delicate fluttering antenna of a moth. Yet its wings moved with the speed and precision of a hummingbird. What could this be? Is it some strange hybrid species, or perhaps a rare insect that mimics birds? Share your thoughts and be kind. I'm a tad confused because, well, I didn't ask Julian. This Eerie train track security footage has been circulating online, leaving many people unsettled. In the dead of night, the camera captured something truly chilling. Ghostly entities appearing along the tracks. 3 translucent, human-shaped figures materialized, 2 on the left side of the track and 1 on the right. What makes this footage even more disturbing is that these ghostly apparitions seem to be interacting with one another, as if engaged in some kind of silent conversation. Their movements were faint but undeniable, and they lingered at the tracks, oblivious to the camera. It raises questions. Were these restless spirits trapped in a moment of their past, tied to a tragic event on these tracks? Many people believe that an ancient sea monster still lurks in the depths of the Norway Ocean, hidden beneath the waves. This belief was only fueled when a peculiar image surfaced during a deep-sea research expedition showing a massive, bizarre creature with a fish-like tail unlike anything seen before. This video was taken by a group of tourists out in Norway, standing on a high cliff gazing out over the ocean. When they spotted this, a long, shiny object was slowly moving through the water, almost slithering with a calculated rhythm. It seemed unnatural. As they watched in awe, the long creature began to turn, and then, as if straight out of a legend, it split in two. Could they have witnessed two massive sea creatures interacting with each other in the depths of the ocean? Is this proof that something ancient and unknown is still roaming the waters? Aaron believes so, but what do you also think?
I asked the water, "Do you know who I am?" Then I froze the water, and I was flabbergasted because there was this VA in the ice. My name is Veda Austin.
There's a fascinating theory that suggests water is not only intelligent but also has memory, able to retain and respond to information around it. Some claim they've tested this theory and witnessed shocking results. One such story comes from a woman who had a bowl of ice in front of her. She decided to interact with the water and speak to it. According to her account, she asked the water its name, and incredibly, the ice formed her initials, V and A, exactly in her own handwriting and style. Intrigued, she wrote the number 4 in a separate bowl of water, and once frozen, the ice displayed the same number. She even wrote the word angel, and remarkably, the ice formed a faint image of a woman with wings. This experiment left many in awe and wondering if water could indeed be responding to frequencies or energy around it, potentially communicating in its own mysterious way. Could there be something more to the water we drink, a hidden intelligence waiting to be discovered? What do you make of this fascinating phenomenon? A homeowner had been experiencing an unsettling, eerie feeling every night after everyone had gone to sleep. Despite searching the house thoroughly and setting up cameras, nothing ever showed up. But the feeling persisted, so they decided to take a different approach. One night, the family stayed away from the house and set up cameras once again, hoping to catch whatever might be causing this disturbing sensation. When they returned to review the footage, what they found was horrifying. There, outside one of the windows, stood a hideous creature. Its skin was a deep, unnatural red, and its eyes glowed menacingly in the darkness. Even more terrifying were its razor-sharp teeth, clearly visible as it pressed its face close to the glass, silently watching the house. The creature didn't attempt to break in and didn't make a sound, but its presence alone was enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. The homeowner was left terrified by what the cameras had captured. What could this thing be? A nightmare come to life? Something paranormal? Share your thoughts. Day by day, our reality is starting to resemble a sci-fi movie more and more. Believe it or not, meat can now be made using 3D printers. Here's how it works. They take stem cells from animals at their choice and transform them into bioinks. Whether you want beef, pork, chicken, or something else, they can simply print it out for you. This 3D printed meat is said to look, smell, and taste exactly the same as traditional meat. But the big question is this safe? While scientists claim that this innovation could significantly reduce the environmental impact of breeding and harvesting animals for food, many people, myself included, have concerns. What do you think, though? Is this futuristic approach to food production worth the risk? And would you be willing to give 3D printed meat a try? Let us know in the comments section. These men were but working in the woods when one of them decided to film the area. What they captured has everyone talking. In the footage, a small miniature creature with pointy ears angled sideways can be seen darting into the trees. Its quick movements and small stature raise the question, Was this some sort of goblin or gnome? The sighting has left people speculating, but no one seems to have an explanation for this strange little creature that seemed to vanish just as quickly as it appeared. This clip is one that's been featured before, but has all of a sudden resurfaced and started debates in the paranormal community. What do you think this could be? What you're looking at is quite strange. A man was out in Vancouver Island when he spotted this, a smaller piece of the island floating on the water. Now, islands are, by definition, land surrounded by water, but they're not supposed to be movable. So how is this smaller section of land seemingly floating and moving on the surface? This raises so many questions. Is it some kind of optical illusion, or could there be something else at play here? Maybe part of the island broke off, or there's an underlying explanation we haven't considered yet. Some people believe this is a living creature, specifically a turtle, while others think it might be a man-made invention to move drugs or weapons. Either way, you have to agree that this is bizarre. What do you think? Also, what's your theory for how this chunk of land floats so mysteriously on the water? Someone stumbled upon this fascinating tree deep in the forest, and as you can see, there's clear, fresh water gushing out from its trunk. This sight is undeniably odd, especially considering the surrounding environment looks dry and there hasn't been any rain for quite some time. So what could this possibly be that's going on here? Well, it turns out this isn't just any ordinary tree. It's a Terminalia tomentosa, known for its unique ability to store water in its trunk. This tree can release water even during dry spells, acting as a natural reservoir. It's quite amazing how nature can create such a system, with trees like these helping maintain life even in the driest conditions. But imagine stumbling upon something like this without knowing the science behind it. It would feel like the tree itself was alive, offering a mysterious gift from within. Wouldn't that be an eerie yet magical moment in the middle of a forest? This footage is something you'd expect to see in a sci-fi movie, but it's real. A driver was casually parked by the side of the road when he noticed something utterly bizarre. On a nearby structure, perched in plain sight, was an insect. But this wasn't your typical bug. This creature was huge, almost the size of a dog. Yes, you heard that right. A dog-sized insect. Now, insects by nature aren't supposed to grow to this size, so this is where things get interested. We've heard stories of mutated creatures, strange anomalies, and even undiscovered species lurking in isolated regions. Could this be one of them, or could it be something far more mysterious? Perhaps it's a creature that wandered into our dimension through some unseen gateway, an insect from another world or time. What do you think, though? Could this be some sort of undiscovered giant species, or could there be some more bizarre, even paranormal explanation for this massive insect sighting? A man was out for a walk passing by this old, mysterious walled structure when he saw something that made his heart skip a beat. Just a few meters ahead of him, there was an entrance in the wall, and standing near it was a small creature around 3 to 4 feet tall. The creature was pale and bipedal, with an appearance resembling some sort of goblin or imp. It peeked its head out from the entrance, stared at the man for a brief moment, and then darted away into the shadows on the other side. The whole thing was so bizarre that it almost seemed like a scene from a fantasy movie. But looking closely at the footage, the creature's movements seemed a bit too smooth, too calculated, almost like it was computer-generated. Could this be an impressive CGI hoax? While some swear it looks too real to be fake, I can't help but feel there's a digital trick at play here. What do you think, though? We all know the infamous monster Pennywise, the large-headed evil clown with a twisted smile and a red balloon lurking in the sewers. You wouldn't want to meet such a creature in real life, would you? Well, a girl might have come too close for comfort.
Pennywise, are you down there? Are you... The is that?
One night, she was walking by one of those sewer openings in the ground, the kind with metal grates. For some reason, she decided to stop, pull out her phone, and start calling out, asking if Pennywise was down there. I mean, really, why would anyone do that? But here's where things get chilling. As she peered down into the darkness, a shadowy face with glowing eyes suddenly appeared, staring right back at her from the depths. She didn't stick around to figure out what it was. She bolted, running away as fast as she could. Now the question remains, what was that in the sewer? Was it just a trick of the light, some animal, or something more sinister?
Pennywise, are you down there? Are you... The is that?
A fan attended a concert of Till Lindemann, the lead singer of a popular band called Rammstein, back in 2017. Everything seemed like a typical performance until something unexpected happened. As he was singing on stage, his eyes suddenly appeared to switch to reptilian, or at least that's what the footage seemed to show. This video was posted online and many people immediately thought it was fake or edited, but others, intrigued by the possibility, went back to the original concert footage to watch it again, and there it was, right in front of them. His eyes, which looked completely normal, suddenly shifted. It's almost as if for a brief moment they turned reptilian before switching back again. Now, whether this was just a trick of the lights, a camera glitch, or something more mysterious, people are still debating. Take a look and decide for yourself. Did something supernatural happen here, or was it just an illusion? Scientists seem to be pushing boundaries now more than ever, and this latest development is no exception. In Edinburgh, some researchers have created ice cream. Yes, ice cream made from plastic waste. They claim it's a form of recycling, using plastic materials to create something edible. But the big question is, how safe is this really? Sure, it may sound innovative in terms of sustainability, but when we start consuming plastic in any form, it raises serious health concerns. Plastic is known to contain harmful chemicals, and whilst they may argue it's safe, the long-term effects are still unknown. Could this lead to health complications or even more dangerous outcomes down the line? It's unsettling to think in the pursuit of recycling, we might be crossing into dangerous territory. Is this truly a solution to waste, or are we heading towards a future filled with unintended health risks? Personally, I've been searching for research papers on this innovation, and I'm yet to find any. Hopefully, this is a hoax and nowhere near the truth. The economy we once knew has drastically changed, and this video breaks it down in a way that really hits home. Just look at how this man explains it.
Movie Home Alone in 1990, Kevin McAllister gets a bunch of groceries that cost $19. A woman in Chicago bought the same things in 2023 and it went up to $72. But you know what people aren't talking about? The income. In 1990, Kevin spent $19 and the median household income was around $40,000. Fast forward to 2022, the groceries basically doubled and so did the income. So that makes sense. But then if you hop just 12 more months, and let's be generous because this is Chicago, this is one grocery store, that doesn't represent all of America. Let's bring this down to even $62 to be a little fair here. That's still a 1.4 times increase on the groceries. So if income would have kept up with these groceries, the average American family should be bringing in $113,000 a year, not 81. And how funny is this? Look at the housing prices. The same thing. There's a pattern. In 1990, the average home was $78,000, median household income $40,000, and you only needed $21,000 to qualify for this house in the 90s. Fast forward to today, the average home sits at $412,000 in this country. The median household income is $81,000. And guess what you need to earn to qualify for this house? $115,000. It's the exact same thing as the groceries because everything in this country in the past 3 years has literally gone up anywhere from 20 to 60% except the income.
It's insane when you think about it. Groceries, housing, and just about everything we buy has skyrocketed in price due to inflation. Yet wages haven't kept up. The cost of living has far outpaced our income, and people are feeling the squeeze like never before. So how are we supposed to survive in this kind of economy, or rather, how do you survive? Any tips you can share?
And guess what you need to earn to qualify for this house? $115,000. It's the exact same thing as the groceries because everything in this country in the past 3 years has literally gone up anywhere from 20 to 60% except the income.
In Egypt, during Easter, scientists detected a fascinating phenomenon near the pyramids of Giza, a space bubble hovering above the ancient structures. These bubbles, known as equatorial plasma bubbles, or EPBs for short, are pockets of low-density plasma that occur in Earth's ionosphere, typically around the equator. EPBs are often invisible to the naked eye but can be detected with specialized equipment. They occur when disturbances in the Earth's magnetic field cause variations in plasma density, leading to these bubbles of less concentrated ionized gas. This phenomena can interfere with satellite signals and radio communications, making their detection critical for technological systems. What are your thoughts on these space bubbles? Could they hold any deeper mysteries, or are they just another natural phenomenon explained by science? Scientists have been working on bringing the woolly mammoth back from extinction for some time now, and in 2024, things are progressing. They reserved a park in Siberia and are actively testing ways to merge mammoth DNA with modern technology to create embryos. By implanting these embryos into Indian elephants, they hope to revive the mammoth species, aiming for a population of 100 woolly mammoths this year. It's fascinating to think how the potential of scientific advancements in resurrecting extinct species, but it also raises some big questions. Were these massive creatures ever meant to coexist with humans? What will happen when we start to bring them back? Are we prepared for the consequences, or is this just another case of science pushing boundaries without fully understanding the implications?
Bam, we at McDonald's. Want to show y'all. You know when you walk into McDonald's, there's a warning that says certain foods and beverages sold or served here can expose you to chemicals including acrylamide in the fried baked foods and mercury in the fish.
Let's take a moment to consider some alarming information from a video that has been circulating. How many of us actually read the warning signs at fast food joints when we're about to grab a quick bite? This man was at McDonald's when he noticed a sign on the glass wall. He took a closer look, and what he found was shocking. The sign clearly states that the food being served contains chemicals known to cause birth defects, cancer, and other health hazards. Despite this warning, these fast food chains continue to sell these items for public consumption. Mercury in the fish, harmful chemicals in the fries. It's unsettling to think about. So why is this still happening? Are we so desensitized to convenience that we ignore these blatant warnings? And why are these dangerous ingredients allowed in our food to begin with? It's a reminder to be more mindful of what we consume and the potential risks lurking in our everyday meals. What are your thoughts on this revelation? Would seeing such a warning sign change how you approach fast food?
Which are known to the state of California to cause cancer and birth defects and other reproductive harm. For more information, p65warning.ca.gov/restaurant. So if your ass get cancer or anything, they told your ass before. It's like a warning label for cigarettes, but for food. Yes, ma'am. Peace. And these are the facts.
If you've ever been in a situation where someone suddenly falls unconscious, knowing what to do is crucial. While most people would immediately think of shaking the person or calling for help, there's an ancient Chinese practice that might just help in these situations. In this video, a man is seen sitting unconscious on a trail, unresponsive, despite attempts to wake him by a concerned woman. After trying to shake him awake to no avail, she uses an acupuncture technique known as GV26, governing vessel 26. This involves pressing her thumb on the point located between the nose and upper lip. A few seconds later, remarkably, the man regains consciousness. GV26, often called the revival point, has been used in traditional Chinese medicine to stimulate the body's energy flow and wake a person who has fainted. While this technique shouldn't replace medical care, it's an interesting ancient method that's been around for centuries. Next time you find someone in a similar situation, try and administer that as first aid. This Trailcam image was shared by a man claiming to capture a Bigfoot. Take a look at the body proportions. It's undeniably intriguing. However, unlike the typical Bigfoot sightings we've seen, this creature doesn't have the distinct domed head, and its body size is noticeably smaller than the massive figures we usually associate with Bigfoot. Julius believes this could be AI-generated, dismissing the image as digitally altered. Meanwhile, Aaron suggests it might just be a smaller Bigfoot or perhaps a juvenile version. The details are still quite mysterious. What do you think could be this real encounter with a small Bigfoot, or are we looking at a clever manipulation? Next, we've got security footage that captured something truly astonishing. The video shows a black creature with white stripes walking past someone's house. Out of nowhere, the creature transforms into a man crouching down. As he stands up, he's wearing a black shirt and pants, and the footage cuts off right there. What a bizarre yet intriguing sight. The transformation is so clear that it leaves you wondering if it's real or if the footage has been edited. Could this be evidence of a real-life shapeshifter, or is there another explanation? In this footage, you can see trees being felled by what appears to be some sort of advanced technology, often referred to as a laser cutter or direct energy weapon, DEW for short. Instead of traditional chainsaws or machinery, the trees are cut with extreme precision, almost as if they were sliced cleanly by a laser beam. The DEW technology, while typically associated with military or industrial uses, is rumored to be a futuristic tool capable of emitting concentrated energy to cut through solid materials like trees, steel, or even rocks. If this is indeed a laser cutter, it represents an astonishing leap in tech, allowing for cleaner, faster, and more efficient tree cutting. If you travel around, then sitting in cars with leaking roofs is nothing new. But what happens when you're on a plane and water starts dripping from the fuselage or ceiling? Jumping off is not an option, which is why no one will expect something like this. The individuals in this clip, however, seem unbothered. The individuals who recorded refuse to mention the airline in India whose plane this is. Some have expressed concern about the fact that none of the passengers are reacting. There are two theories. Either they're used to stuff like this and probably seem worse, or the clip is fake. You've seen the clip as well, so what do you think?
A lifetime of eating raw fish left this poor gentleman with this level of parasites throughout his entire body. Folks, you're not going to get rid of stuff like this, so eat the right things.
What this man is holding is a scan of another man's body, and if you take a closer look, you'll notice something truly disturbing. These white lines scattered throughout the image. Believe it or not, these are worms. Yes, worms infesting his body after consuming raw fish over a prolonged period. The man had been a fan of eating raw fish, likely enjoying sushi or sashimi regularly, and over time this led to a severe parasitic infection. The worms managed to infiltrate his body, spreading internally to the point where they appeared all throughout his skin. It's a terrifying reminder of what can happen when parasites go unchecked. Even the doctor who reviewed the case expressed concern, saying that removing all the worms might be impossible due to the extent of the infestation. The worms had taken over much of the man's internal system that it was unclear how they could safely extract every last one. This type of parasitic infection, often caused by consuming improperly prepared raw seafood, highlights the risks that come with not cooking food thoroughly. So for all the sushi lovers out there, while sushi can be delicious and enjoyable, it's important to be extra cautious. Make sure you're getting your fish from reputable places that take great care in ensuring the food is parasite-free, because as this shocking case shows, the consequences can be life-altering and downright horrifying.
A lifetime of eating raw fish left this poor gentleman with this level of parasites throughout his entire body. Folks, you're not going to get rid of stuff like this, so eat the right things.
This is a Tesla robot, and in this clip, it's folding clothes, a glimpse into what the futuristic machines are capable of. They're designed to help out with household chores like cleaning, laundry, and maybe even cooking in the future. Pretty innovative, right? But here's the kicker. They're said to cost around $20,000. Now, I get it. Robots doing housework sounds like a dream come true, but would you get one for that price? I think that's where the debate comes in. For some, the convenience might outweigh the cost, especially if they have busy lifestyles or need extra assistance. Others might feel like it's just too expensive for something we can already do ourselves, and $20,000 can be spent on a lot of other things. What do you think? Would you invest on a robot like this to make life easier, or is it just not worth the price tag yet? And I don't like to be the one who's always thinking negatively, but, what if they get hacked or turn on humanity? How would you defend yourself?
Are you giving Daddy his tools?
For this next clip, well, I have no words, just take a look. Do you think the little girl would have really stabbed her dad? Could it be a case of not knowing what she was doing, or was she briefly possessed by something or someone? Share your thoughts.
Are you giving Daddy his tools?
What we're looking at here in this footage, a hand places a strange object next to a bottle of water, and in a matter of moments, the water turns red. It's almost surreal, like some kind of chemical reaction or something far more mysterious. Now, what is this object? It doesn't look like anything you'd find in a science lab. It actually resembles some sort of ancient artifact, weathered with engravings or markings that give off an eerie vibe. Could this be a case of a radioactive reaction, or is it something more supernatural? I'm not entirely sure, but the transformation of the water from clear to deep red is enough to make anyone curious. What do you think this object could be? An ancient relic with hidden powers? Some kind of experiment? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. This photographer was out at a beautiful location, standing near the wavy, muddy ground by a body of water with mountains nearby, capturing the serene moment. But out of nowhere, a huge bear came running toward him. Surprisingly, the man didn't run. Instead, he stood his ground and started yelling at the approaching bear. As it got closer, the bear, startled by the noise, stopped in its tracks and ran away. Bears are incredibly dangerous creatures, but in situations like this, many people use yelling or loud noises to scare them off instead of running. However, this is still risky. If the bear doesn't back off, the situation could quickly escalate. If you are ever in bear territory, make sure to know the risks and safety strategies. Stay informed and cautious. What's going on in the waters of Columbus? The man behind the camera shows his two containers. One had a fish in it, and the other, initially containing a fish and a snail, now has something unsettling. Instead of the fish and snail, tiny creatures are swimming around, which the man claims he never put there. He describes them as extremely small fish-like organisms. According to him, he had changed the water in the second container with tap water. The next day, the fish was gone, the snail was just an empty shell, and these mysterious tiny creatures had appeared. He believes that these creatures were in the tap water and somehow ate his fish and snail. If this is happening in Columbus, it raises serious questions about the tap water. Is something lurking in the water supply, or could it be a bizarre and isolated incident? Well, many in the paranormal community are not amused. They point out these strange and tiny creatures the man is describing are shrimps. They also mention they probably hitched a ride from one of his purchases. Another mentions he's just lying for views. Another in Columbus, Ohio, called him out for lying as well. I can go on, but it's clear no one believes him. So what do you also think? If you have no idea who the Kifness is, then you are truly missing out on some of the best things this life has to offer. He creates music with literally anything, and his favorite is animal sounds. The music playing in the background is one he created using a viral cat sound on the internet. Somehow, after playing this often, the cat of this user had started singing along, which is not typical cat behavior. The person uploaded the clip, stating that there definitely has to be a side to cats we don't know about. The user believes we don't understand them as much as we think we do. What say you?
Come on, man. Oh, I'm not blaming. Oh my god, what the is that? There's nobody in the store, dude. It's freaking me out, bro.
The man behind the camera was casually walking through the fridge aisle of a supermarket, minding his own business, when something caught his eye. One of the standing fridges, usually tightly sealed to keep everything cool, was mysteriously open. As he looked closer, he saw it gently close on its own without anyone nearby. Intrigued and maybe a bit unsettled, he rushed over to see if someone had been there moments before, but there was no one. What made the situation even stranger was the fact that he hadn't touched the fridge, nor had he taken anything from it. The fridge had seemingly opened and closed entirely on its own. No other customers were around, and the eerie silence of the empty aisle only added to the unsettling nature of the moment. The big question remains, what could have caused this? Was it simply a faulty fridge door that didn't close properly and then snapped shut, or was there something more to what was going on at that supermarket?
Come on, man. Oh, I'm not blaming. Oh my god, what the is that? There's nobody in the store, dude. It's freaking me out, bro.
Someone shared this clip online, and it's been puzzling viewers ever since, with no clear explanation as to what it could be. In the footage, a dark, fluid-like mass can be seen floating in the sky. Unlike clouds, this object wasn't high up in the atmosphere. It hovered at a noticeable distance, close enough to make out its unusual shape and behavior. It didn't appear to be a drone, debris, or anything that fits the usual suspects like birds or aircraft. The way it moved and the consistency of its form resembles something more fluid, almost like a dark liquid mass in midair. The lack of clear answers has only deepened the mystery. Was this some kind of environmental phenomenon, or perhaps something more unexplained? Get ready for another spine-chilling encounter caught on camera. This time it was a courageous passerby who couldn't resist investigating strange noises emanating from the depths of the woods. Now, let me tell you, if it were me, I'd be out of there in a heartbeat, but this brave soul had a different plan in mind. Equipped with a camera and a trusty torch, they ventured closer to the source of the eerie sounds. With every step, the noise grew clearer and more sinister. And then, right behind a tree, the camera captured a sight that sent shivers down their spine. There it was, crouched on all fours, a pale-like creature that seemed almost human in appearance. Unfortunately, further details about the creature remain elusive as the brave individual's survival instincts kicked in and they fled from the scene without a moment's hesitation. Now, the identity of this creature remains an enigma, open to speculation and wild theories. Some suggest it could be a rake, a legendary creature of horror folklore. Others consider the possibility of a skinwalker, a being capable of assuming various forms. But then, there are those who believe it might be a wild human, one who was lost touch with civilization through prolonged dwelling in the unforgiving depths of the forest. However, at this stage, it's crucial to avoid jumping to definitive conclusions. Now let's dive into a fascinating chapter of the internet's cryptid chronicles. Back on September the 3rd, 2013, the digital world was set abuzz by a single enigmatic image shared by a Facebook user. What did this image reveal, you ask? Well, none other than the piercing eye of a mysterious creature. A trailcam carefully positioned to capture the secrets of the forest had seemingly caught the attention of an inquisitive visitor. This creature, whoever or whatever it was, decided to get up close and personal with the camera. As many trail camera enthusiasts know, animals often get curious when they encounter these devices on their turf. What if I told you this was no ordinary encounter? What if I told you the eye that peered into the lens was unlike any that had been seen before? Even after experts compared it to close-up images of various creatures, none seemed to be a perfect match. It was as if this eye belonged to some other creature. The conclusion, as intriguing as it may be, led many to the realm of Bigfoot. Yes, you read that right. Bigfoot, the legendary humanoid cryptid of the wilderness. Why? Because this eye held a curious blend of human-like characteristics while still maintaining an air of mystery that set it apart. Of course, it's worth noting that the world of cryptids is filled with ambiguity and speculation. What one person sees as proof, another might dismiss as a trick of the light or an optical illusion. An expert compared the eye against that of a hog and was very convinced that there was no Bigfoot involved. He strongly believes it's definitely a hog. Given the options, which do you think it is? In this video clip, we see a house painted in a yellowish or cream color set against a less than perfectly mowed lawn. The area is well lit with strategically placed lights. At this quiet time of day, nothing seems amiss. However, our assumptions are quickly proven wrong when a shadow suddenly emerges from behind the camera. We notice this presence thanks to the light strategically placed throughout the area. Shortly after it passes, an alarm goes off, signaling a trespasser. This startles the unknown creature, causing it to pause briefly. However, it resumes its movement once the alarm stops. The shadow reveals the immense size of this unknown creature, complete with a slight hunchback and long muscular arms. Despite its size, it moves silently and could have gone unnoticed if not for the alarm. What do you think this ginormosity of a creature is? My bet's on a Bigfoot, but I'd like to hear your thoughts too. This time, our lens takes us to Mexico, where an astonishing sight unfolds before our eyes. Brace yourselves for the extraordinary. At first glance, the footage appears unremarkable, but let me assure you, there's more to this than meets the eye. Positioned at the peak of the mountain stands a figure that, upon closer examination, resembles a human. We can discern the head, the shoulders, the arms, and the legs. However, this is no ordinary human. Allow me to paint the picture for you. Given the distance from which this footage was captured, one would expect humans to appear as mere dots, or perhaps not even visible at all. Yet this figure stands out, unmistakably large. We're not talking about your average basketball player's height here. No, this is on an entirely different scale. We're talking about a giant. Based on its visibility in the footage and its position high up on the mountain, we can reasonably estimate that this person is at least 20 feet tall. Now, let that sink in for a moment. A towering being defying the norms of human stature, dominating the mountaintop. It's a sight that challenges our perception of reality and leaves us wondering about the mysteries that lie beyond our comprehension. Before you go calling this a fake, remember that the last person to report something similar went missing. If that's not suspicious, I don't know what is. It's dark, and a woman nearby hears unusual sounds from her backyard. Curious, the husband is awoken by his wife to venture into the backyard to investigate the source of the commotion. As he nears his destination, holding a phone and flashlight, he scans the area but finds nothing in sight. It's not until he aims the flashlight at the ceiling that he detects movement. He spots a figure curled up in the unfinished ceiling space, resembling a creature of some kind. Rewatching everything, we noticed what seems to be a creature with its belly pressed onto the beam. Upon closer inspection, the husband begins to question whether this being is truly a creature. Its hand and lateral sitting posture suggest a human presence. Was he or she attempting to break into their home afterwards at a later time of the night? A burglary case, perhaps, or is this a paranormal issue? Nonetheless, it's frightening how everything unfolds in the first flush of the morning. I wouldn't wish this on anyone. The depths of our world's wilderness certainly holds their mysteries, as evident by this Trailcam capture. It's a haunting reminder of how much we still don't understand about the woods we often consider familiar. In this image, we see a figure that defies easy explanation. The person, or whatever it may be, is striking in its eerie appearance. The stark contrast between the extremely pale skin and those unnaturally dark eyes is enough to make anyone shudder. The long jet black hair and the oversized dress only add to the enigma. But what's truly unsettling is the posture of this figure. It appears almost lifeless, as if it exists in a state between the living and the undead. The icy gaze directed at the camera sends a chill down the spine, leaving us with more questions than answers. Who is this mysterious being, and what could explain its presence in the heart of the woods? It's a puzzle that may never be fully solved. If you've been on this channel for a while, you know we love to start big, and our first Trailcam capture of the day is nothing short of wild, scary, and very mysterious. Take a look. Does this not scare you? I'm used to seeing cute and fluffy rabbits, but these creatures, although resembling rabbits, don't look like the furry, cute bunnies we're used to. Despite having heads resembling that of a rabbit or hare, they have bodies that are human-like and even dressed to look the part. Their clothes are thick and heavy, which might suggest they live in a cold region. If you pay attention to the hands of the creature, you'll realize that the right one looks like a prosthetic arm, albeit one made of wood or branches, something along the lines of a makeshift, which will leave you wondering what happened to it. Looking at the way the second creature, or humanoid rabbit, follows the one in front, you don't have to be a genius to deduce that there are certainly more of these creatures in this location. I would have called them alien, but their clothes look rather native, which will suggest they have lived in that region for a while. We hadn't heard of creatures like this, and we're naturally curious about it. The image was sent in by a subscriber of the channel, and we decided to ask her where the footage was taken. She has, however, refused to disclose the location where this image was taken. According to her, her family has known about the existence of these humanoid rabbits for years and kept it a secret. It's a tradition she too wants to keep up. She only thought she'd share the image so you and I could appreciate some of the mysteries that roam our planet. And you have to agree, this is indeed strange, is it not? Is there anyone among you who's ever had a close encounter with any of these creatures? If you have, please share your experience in the comments section, as we'd really love to hear about it. Our attention is drawn to a creature that defies conventional explanation. It's a sight that blurs the boundaries between the natural and the fantastical realms. As we examine the image, we're confronted with a being that appears to be a peculiar hybrid, a fusion of a pit bull and a human, a truly uncanny combination. Standing on its two skinny legs, the creature displays a hunched posture with a sack-like object clinging to its back. Its movements suggest a purposeful journey with constant vigilance, as if on the lookout for potential danger lurking nearby. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on the possibilities. Could this creature be a creation of expert editing and visual effects? The line between reality and skilled craftsmanship has indeed become increasingly thin in our modern era. However, there is something undeniably real about the footage, the authenticity of the surroundings, the palpable atmosphere captured in the scene. This leaves us with a perplexing question. What are we truly witnessing? Are we peering into the realm of fantasy brought to life, or could there be an elusive creature roaming our world that defies conventional understanding? I have another intriguing piece of footage to share with you. A family captured this footage while hiking in the mountains, and they strongly believe it depicts a sighting of none other than Bigfoot. However, it's crucial to approach the authenticity of the footage with a healthy dose of skepticism and subject it to critical analysis. In the footage, we can make out a creature walking in the distance. Since the footage was taken from afar, it's challenging to discern the details clearly. Nevertheless, the top part of the creature is visible, emphasizing its size and scale. If it were an ape, it would likely appear much smaller or perhaps not even visible from such a distance. The fact that we can see this creature from afar suggests its immense size. Now, could it potentially be a gorilla or even a bear? It's difficult to say definitively. However, the way this creature moves on 2 feet with the upper body clearly visible sets it apart from typical quadrupedal animals. Adding to the mystery, the area in question is not known to be home to bears, gorillas, or any other type of ape. This leaves us with only one plausible explanation: the elusive Bigfoot. This next footage just exudes a peaceful and quite frankly beautiful sight to behold if one decides to have alone time in a secluded area. The unknown location is surrounded by lush green trees with black rocks and majestic flowing water. What's most evident is a human-like figure standing in a fishing posture, holding a long stick and a red bag on a fallen tree, likely for storing a catch. Things escalate when a creature emerges from the woods, seemingly intrigued by the man fishing. It doesn't stop there. The creature gets closer until it suddenly decides against it and walks away. Why was he heading towards the man? What made him stop? What was that creature? I initially thought it might be a Bigfoot, but it's unusual for Bigfoots to approach people. Could it have been a different cryptid, one that's previously unknown yet very hostile to humans, or am I simply reading meanings into things that are non-existent? It's hard to say at this point, but perhaps a second opinion might clear things up. Care to share yours? The capture unveils a forest with tall leafless trees covered in what appears to be moss. Dead leaves carpet the ground. Among the trees, a peculiar sight emerges, a doll tightly bound as if to prevent its escape. Upon closer inspection, it becomes evident that 2 of these dolls are bound to the same tree. Could these dolls have been haunting someone or a group of people, necessitating them being bound like this? Could this site be a ritual ground for witches and occultists? It's hard to tell, but these dolls must be very, very uncomfortable. Care to go on a rescue mission? Let us know your response in the comments section. As the camera pans through the dense forest, our focus is drawn to a figure dressed in a black outfit shrouded in mystery. Every step leaves behind a distinct trail, carving a clear path through the undergrowth. Intermittent zooming in and out of the camera lens reveals a bone-chilling detail. A long, elongated object held tightly in the figure's right hand, resembling a knife. The figure moves with purpose, steadily advancing towards an unknown destination. The enigmatic attire and the darkness that conceals the figure's face make it difficult to discern their true identity. Our imaginations wander, considering the possibilities. Could this be a skilled hunter, adeptly pursuing prey in the depths of the woods, or does the presence of the weapon raise more sinister suspicions, suggesting a malevolent force lurking within? Our minds cannot help but wander further, delving into the realm of legends and the unexplained. Could this be the elusive Bigfoot, the legendary Sasquatch said to roam these very woods, or is it simply an ordinary person with hidden sinister motives? As we navigate through the shadows of uncertainty, it's important to approach this encounter with a blend of curiosity and caution. Speculations abound, but the truth remains elusive. While it's hard to discern, do tell us what you think in the comments section. We'll be reading. In this footage, we can see 3 dogs barking and snapping their jaws at something in the dark. Moments later, we see the trio flee backwards as a fierce alligator comes to view, baring its sharp teeth, and the 3 dogs, I think these dogs were trying to bully the reptile, thinking it was all alone, but the scaly beast was not having it and decided to scare them off. Animals are known to be territorial, and it's clear that this alligator is trespassing into what appears to be a town center. This gives the dogs a legitimate reason to assert their dominance and defend their territory. But this gator seems to not have any interest in the rules of boundaries, but rather goes ahead to bully the dogs in their own homes. This is a typical example of the survival of the fittest. The trio made the right call to run away because I think one or all of them would have come out of the potential fight limping. Usually, when you hear Bigfoot, you think about a 6-foot or more creature, but this Trailcam capture leaves us a little confused. There in the picture, you can see a primate with its back turned to the camera. While the creature's features are reminiscent of a monkey, its upright posture leaves us believing it's actually a Bigfoot. But why does Bigfoot have relatively pale, human-like skin where fur should be? I know animals can look different once they lose their fur, but this is a bit much. Once you get past the fact that we're basically seeing the butt of Bigfoot, you also have to deal with the fact that it's lost its fur. Do all Bigfoots have pale skin underneath their thick fur, or is this simply a Yeti? Also, it looks a little too small to be Bigfoot, unless, of course, it's a juvenile. Either way, I'd love your input on this. What do you think we're dealing with here? Tell us in the comments. Next, we move to southeast Indiana for an alleged capture of the footprints of Bigfoot. Bear in mind that this was captured as far back as 2019, so have a look. The footprints, likely made on a muddy day, appear in the video as significantly larger than man's feet, possibly 2 to 3 times the size. Given its depth in the ground, we can deduce that whatever made it is quite large and very, very heavy. Do you know any creatures that fit the bill? Well, the paranormal community believes it's a Bigfoot, and who can blame them? The footprint was 18 inches long, 6 inches wide, and 4 inches deep, and the distance between the tracks was 70 inches. Hypothetically, this Bigfoot is assumed to be 8 feet tall, weighing approximately 800 to 900 pounds. According to the uploader, 5 people have witnessed these sightings. This gives some credibility to the captures, but tell me, what would you do if you met a behemoth that size? Would you run, scream, or try to befriend it? Let us know. Next, we have mind-boggling footage captured in Brazil. This intriguing video showcases a glowing being standing in a field emanating an otherworldly aura. The true nature of this entity remains a mystery, leaving everyone puzzled. However, it's worth noting that the area is renowned for UFO sightings, leading some residents to believe that this glowing being could potentially be an alien visitor. Since the footage was taken from a distance, it's challenging to discern distinct features of the being. Nevertheless, one can still make out the presence of arms on its sides and its upright stance, suggesting it stands on 2 legs. The top part of the being appears to resemble a head. Interestingly, some have even drawn comparisons to an angel, although the absence of wings challenges this assumption, unless, of course, we consider the possibility of wingless angels. Residents in the area have grown accustomed to the presence of this glowing creature, as it is said to make numerous appearances. However, despite their familiarity, one can definitively confirm whether it is indeed an alien entity or simply a shining object reflecting light, giving off a mysterious glow. In this viral video, the darkened streets come alive with intrigue as a group of bikers halts abruptly, their attention drawn to a mysterious figure walking alongside the road. Illuminated by the bright lights of passing vehicles, the creature gradually reveals itself, resembling something otherworldly. Its nonchalant demeanor amidst the bustling traffic adds to the aura of mystery. With a pallid and ghostly complexion, the creature boasts elongated limbs, standing at an estimated height of around 5'9" based on the filming distance. As the footage unfolds, a captivating detail emerges. The creature abruptly turns its head backwards, a behavior often associated with depictions of extraterrestrial beings in popular culture. These actions only deepen the intrigue surrounding its nature and origins. Speculation and curiosity have ignited a storm on the internet, with theories and conjectures flooding the digital landscape. Some have described the creature as a weird humanoid entity, while others have even spotted a UFO in the footage. The imaginations of watchers have been ignited, giving rise to questions about a potential alien invasion on the horizon. What do you think, though? the ever-fascinating subject of UFOs. It's a topic that has piqued the curiosity of many and continues to leave us with more questions than answers. Now let's break down this recent sighting. In this footage, we've got vigilant observers who managed to capture not one, not two, but 3 flying objects in the vast expanse of the sky. These mysterious objects are arranged in a precise triangular formation, and their disc-like shape is enough to make anyone raise an eyebrow. After all, when it comes to flying saucers, we all know who might be behind the wheel: the enigmatic aliens. But here's the real kicker. Despite the undeniable presence of these crafts, their pilots remain elusive. It's as if they're playing an intergalactic game of hide-and-seek with us Earthlings. The question on everyone's minds is, when will they finally reveal themselves, or could they already be among us incognito? Think about it. Speaking of strange animals, what do you make of this capture? Looking beyond the faded grass and the vibrant trees adorning the ground which sway in the wind like freshly washed hair in the wind, we see a mysterious creature which appears to be on a journey. I know that intro was a bit too much, but, well, you can't deny it was nice. Anyway, coming back to our trail cam. You can't help but wonder what type of creature that is. It doesn't remotely appear to look anything like we know. Its size makes it too large for any creature I could think of. With its black appearance and 2 robust arms and legs, it could easily be mistaken for a male gorilla confidently navigating its territory. I'm uncertain. It's a bit unclear, just a speculation as usual. What could this creature be really? If it's not a gorilla, what is this black walking creature? A part of me wants to say large bat, but, well, I won't let it. Kindly tell me what you think we're seeing in the comments section, as I really want to know. Hold on tight, folks, because we're about to witness another heart-pounding adventure. This time, a team of daring explorers decided to visit an abandoned poolside, a choice that leaves us wondering why people subject themselves to such eerie encounters. But hey, it's all part of the thrill, right? The duo, who happened to be YouTubers, documented their experience and uploaded it to their channel. As they roamed around, the cameras rolling, they stumbled upon a peculiar shed and couldn't resist exploring its mysteries. Inside, among the remnants of old clothes and a pile of wood, something unexpected emerged, a strange pale leg and a head. The creature appeared alarmingly skinny with sinister glowing eyes. It was a sight that caught the explorers completely off guard, prompting them to bolt out of the place in a flash. And let's be real, who can blame them? When you venture into an abandoned location, you're practically asking for strange encounters. Now, my curious viewers, it's your turn to share your thoughts on this spine-chilling footage. Head on down to the comments section and let us know what you make of this encounter. Remember, when you delve into the unknown, you never know what strange surprises await. So brace yourselves, leave your comments, and join the conversation as we dive into the realm of the mysterious and unexplained. With something outrightly bizarre and scary. Wondering what I'm talking about? Take a look at this odd trail cam capture. In it, we see an odd-looking creature that appears to have the head of a ram and a thick body covered in fur. The uploader of the footage added that he believes the creature is at least 9 feet tall based on its height in comparison to the trees in the woods it's standing by. It gives off Bigfoot vibes, with the major difference being the fact that it has the head of a ram. Although cryptids are very popular in the paranormal community, they're typically shrouded in mystery due to how similar yet different they are. This creature, for instance, would have been mistaken for Bigfoot, but for its horns that stick out on the top of its head and spiral down. The snout also looks like it belongs on a ram as well. I reckon this creature is even more terrifying than Bigfoot, but where are all these creatures crawling out from? And why are they popping out now, causing a stir? Is there something ominous on the horizon, and should we be afraid? I wish I could dismiss it as a hoax, but it sends shivers down my spine. What do you think, though? If you're not a fan of dolls, viewer discretion is advised. The doll you see looks like an everyday doll with a creepy smile. But pay attention. A few seconds in, you realize that the eyes of the doll are following the one recording. It's an unusual sight, particularly because it's in a cemetery, a place associated with the departed. People are speculating that it may be possessed by demons or evil spirits. While there's no way to confirm this, some in the paranormal community are quick to point out the fact that the doll could actually be an advanced robot or something along those lines. While that sounds logical, I find it hard to believe that's the situation here. But what do you think? Tell us in the comments section. The ocean has always held a treasure trove of mysteries, and this washed-up creature in Yemen only adds to this intrigue. At first glance, it's easy to mistake it for a whale due to its massive size, but upon closer inspection, it becomes evident that it defies the characteristics of a typical whale. Speculation and debates surround this enigma. Some skeptics propose that it might be a giant squid, a creature that's long been shrouded in mystery and myth. But even this theory doesn't provide a definitive answer. The truth is that the depths of the ocean still conceal many secrets, and encounters like these serve as a reminder that there's much we don't know about the creatures that inhabit the deep. The mysterious creature from Yemen challenges us to continue exploring and understanding the vast mysteries that lie beneath the ocean's surface. So what's your take on this intriguing marine wonder? Let us know in the comments section. In a secluded family getaway cabin nestled deep within the woods, a massive beast made its presence known by peering through a window, a sight that sends shivers down the spine. While the full body of the creature remained concealed, there was no mistaking its identity. The unmistakable features of Bigfoot were on display. A pair of eyes and a nose resembling those of a human, combined with the hairy exterior and an ape-like facial structure. Yes, my friends, we're face to face with the legendary Bigfoot, a creature of mystery and fascination, said to roam the mountains and forests. Standing at a staggering height of 8 feet or more, Bigfoot strikes a unique balance between human and ape-like characteristics. Now, it's important to note that encounters with Bigfoot rarely result in casualties. However, the intense penetrating gaze captured in this selfie serves as a haunting reminder of the power and presence these creatures possess. It's a gaze that leaves no desire for a face-to-face encounter with this enigmatic being. Something about the creature's eyes and looks, however, look off. They're simply not natural. Could this really be a Bigfoot, or is this an elaborate attempt by someone trying to mislead and confuse all Bigfoot believers? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Hold on tight, because we've caught another thrilling trail cam capture that undeniably showcases a Bigfoot. This image checks all the boxes, featuring the classic attributes of height, fur, a robust body, and the ability to walk upright. With each passing day, the mounting evidence surrounding these elusive beings continues to grow. What was once dismissed as mere legend and a rare occurrence has now become a frequent topic of discussion. It seems almost impossible to go a week without hearing of yet another Bigfoot sighting. One cannot help be struck by the sheer size of these creatures. Reports suggest that their feet are approximately twice the size of a human head and a staggering 4 times the size of human feet. Such proportions indicate immense physical strength, leaving us to wonder about the potential harm they could inflict with ease. Now, the burning question arises, is this particular image of Bigfoot the real deal, or is it simply a fabricated phenomenon? This nosy situation was captured on a trail cam, offering a glimpse into the captivating world of wildlife. Here, in this snapshot, we see a black nose framed by dark fur, a sight that immediately piques our curiosity. The possibilities seem as endless as the wilderness itself. Could it be a mischievous monkey, or, for those who entertain the mysteries of the paranormal, the ever-elusive Bigfoot? However, as our investigation and scrutiny would reveal, the answer turns out to be both simpler and utterly endearing. This inquisitive visitor, it turns out, is none other than one of the monkey species native to the area the trail camera that captured it was set up. It turns out that the creature was driven by an insatiable curiosity to investigate the odd-looking object in its surroundings. It employs all senses, including its keen sense of smell, in a bid to understand the situation. In a twist of fate that could only be described as comically charming, its twitching nose, poised for investigation, aligned perfectly with the camera's lens at just the right moment. The result, an image that serves as a delightful bridge between the natural world and our technological incursions into it, capturing a moment of whimsy, charm, and the unexpected in the wild. One question, though. What monkey species do you think that is? Tell us in the comments section. This capture showcases numerous trees scattered throughout the woods, with a firelit torch stick emerging to the left, nestling between a real tree and its additional trunk. The limited illumination is soon overshadowed by a larger light source, revealing the expansive terrain before us and asserting its presence. Naturally, this second light causes the eyes of the nocturnals to glow in the dark. If you know anything about nocturnals, you know this is a normal trait, but you've got to ask, what's this second source of light that dominantly glows over these animals? We've known about orbs and what they represent, but this? What could it mean? If you have any answers, please don't hesitate to share. The video begins with a man, let's call him S, bravely venturing down a dimly lit trail armed with nothing but a flashlight and a recording device. As S progresses, his attention is drawn to another person standing at the end of the trail, dressed in a white top. Let's refer to this person as H. Curiosity and caution guide S as he approaches H, seeking confirmation of his identity and demanding proof. However, before long, terror strikes in an unexpected manner. From the shadows, an unknown entity forcefully seizes H, pulling him to the ground and dragging him away. The air fills with H's piercing screams, intertwined with bone-chilling sounds emanating from the mysterious entity. A sense of dread permeates the scene, leaving us on edge.
Okay, if you could come help, that'd be nice. Okay, I don't know where this thing is, or when it's gonna...
Suddenly, a glimmer of hope emerges as another man emerges from the shadows, driven by determination and a fierce resolve to rescue H. His footsteps quicken, racing towards the very spot where H was seized, driven by an unwavering mission to save his friend. And then, the video abruptly ends, leaving us in suspense, yearning for answers and closure. Will S and the other man be able to find their friend? Will they uncover the truth behind H's disappearance and confront the enigmatic entity that snatched him away? If you have any ideas, we'd love to hear them. It's no secret that our world is inhabited by more than just humans. Numerous accounts supported by video or picture evidence have brought forth tales of unearthly beings, from extraterrestrials to ghosts and even creatures once believed to be mere myths. In this particular footage, we encounter yet another intriguing account. At the start of the footage, two stray dogs capture our attention as they fix their gaze upon a particular spot, then hastily run off, seemingly spooked by something unseen. And soon enough, the reason behind their sudden departure becomes clear. In the ensuing moments, a peculiar black haze taking the shape of a human figure can be seen moving. What's more, the entity casts a shadow upon one of the nearby houses. This detail raises a perplexing question. If this is indeed a ghostly apparition, it contradicts the notion that ghosts lack shadows. So what could this possibly be? This chilling footage was captured by a security camera in the depths of night, when the darkness seemingly invites the mischievous and the malevolent to emerge. Could this be an entity of evil, aimlessly roaming the night? If so, one can't help but wonder what other unseen creatures lurk behind our doors or roam the streets while we lay vulnerable and unaware in our slumber. Ever wonder about the hidden history behind things we encounter or even imagine? This footage showcases an unadorned fenced structure with few trees and no paint. At first glance, it appears this house was abandoned and left unfinished, but there's more to it that meets the eye. During the day, it's devoid of any human presence, with only a leafless tree to keep it company, but come nightfall, it hosts mysterious beings. One such is what you see on your screen. As displayed in the clip, a figure all in white emerges from the front part of the seemingly abandoned structure. We're not exactly sure if it knows it's being filmed, but it moves around freely without a care in the world. It looks like a little girl, but that property is abandoned with no one living there. Could it be a ghost? If it's not, what else could it be? And why does it only appear in the dead of night when no one else is around? Could it be the spirit of someone who once lived there? It's hard to say, but all evidence points to the fact that it's a ghost. Is it a real ghost, though? This is where things get dicey. Isn't it a bit odd that a camera was placed conveniently to capture a ghost roaming an abandoned building? It could be a coincidence et al., or perhaps they could have been investigating. Personally, the footage is ticking all the checkboxes of a hoax, but what do you think? Now let's take a look at something far more bizarre. This footage was uploaded onto Twitter back in 2022. According to the uploader, this blazing scene took place in Ohio. What we've got here is a mesmerizing carpet of fire sprawling across the streets of Ohio. Now, before you start wondering if this is some kind of supernatural event, here's the kicker. Instead of fleeing in terror, the bystanders are drawn like moths to a flame, getting closer to capture footage of this otherworldly spectacle. As you can see, their fascination knows no bounds. It's as if they've stumbled upon a real-life mystery that defies explanation. And speaking of explanations, the local fire department has had their say. They suggested that this astonishing display might have been sparked by an irresponsible smoker casually flicking a lit cigarette butt onto some flammable mulch. Now, while this theory may sound like a most plausible explanation, there's something undeniably mystical about watching a carpet of fire dance and flicker against the darkened night sky. It's a reminder that even in the age of science and reason, the world can still surprise us with its unexplained wonders. So, Ohio's fiery enigma, whether a mere cigarette misadventure or something more, continues to captivate our imagination. Does it captivate yours? For our next footage, we travel as far back as 2018. In that year, a daring YouTuber decided to venture into an abandoned sewer renowned for its eerie atmosphere and mysterious aura. Little did they know that their quest for remarkable footage would lead them to an encounter that would leave them speechless. Under the cover of darkness, the YouTubers and their companions set off, brimming with excitement and anticipation. The cameras are ready to capture the extraordinary. And boy, did they find something remarkable. Brace yourselves, for what you are about to witness will send shivers down your spine. There it is, right before your eyes, a mysterious creature perched atop the sewer, its presence both intriguing and unsettling. Its shiny black fur adds an element of mystique, glistening in the dim light. But the darkness plays tricks on our eyes, making it challenging to ascertain the true nature of this enigmatic being. At first glance, it may resemble a small monkey, but don't let that fool you. Watch closely as the boys' reactions unfold. Their expressions tell a story of sheer terror and disbelief. It becomes clear that this creature is anything but a simple monkey. Its presence elicits a fear that words alone cannot convey. Talking of chills, this next footage shows the enigmatic Bigfoot taking a stroll across a field in the dead of night. The creature was so big that only the chest region came into view in the camera lens. Take a look. As the Bigfoot walks, its movements exude grandeur and confidence, as if it possesses a strong sense of ownership over its forest habitat. This adds to the mystique and fascination surrounding Bigfoot sightings and their supposed connection to dense wooded areas. However, it's important to approach the presented footage with a discerning mindset. Due to the limited view and the quality of the image, it becomes challenging to definitively conclude whether the figure captured is an actual Bigfoot or a digitally created animation. Experts in video analysis, including those knowledgeable in CGI and special effects, would be able to thoroughly examine the footage to determine its authenticity. What do you think? A thermal camera set in the woods caught footage of something disturbing in the middle of the night. What the camera captures is nothing short of extraordinary. In fact, have a look. In the footage, we see a colossal figure suddenly coming into view. It's not just standing there, mind you, it's running with gigantic strides. Given its size, its massive arms swing with an almost hypnotic rhythm. Looking at the capture, I'm pretty sure that the creature might be at least 7 to 8 feet tall. The location and hour of this peculiar sighting offer no comfort for those seeking a mundane explanation. The evidence on display simply doesn't align with the characteristics of a human being. The owner of this enigmatic footage believes with unwavering conviction that what we are seeing here could very well be the legendary Bigfoot. And you know what? Given the sheer size, the peculiar gait, and the location, it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility. Don't you agree? This next footage takes me back to the days of watching Bridge of Terabithia and Tinkerbell. Don't judge me, I was young. The footage was captured by an enthusiastic explorer in search of creatures from the fairy realm. For those who don't know, the fairy realm refers to the magical realm where fairies and all other fairy tale creatures reside. After roaming the woods for minutes in the rain, this strong believer of the fairy realm is rewarded with a capture of one of them supposedly going back to its habitat after the rain stops. Although not entirely visible, we can discern that it stands at least 1 or 2 feet tall with long limbs and a slender build. You clearly don't need me to remind you it's active and on the go. Like many whimsical creatures, it's incredibly alert and quick to react to any potential danger, whether from predators, scientists, or explorers like the one recording this footage. Many who saw the footage believe it's the real thing. Personally, I don't know how to feel about it. There's a good chance it's CGI, but I also want to believe that this is the real deal. What do you think about the whole thing? Human beings are known for their insatiable curiosity, and although there is a popular saying that goes, "Curiosity killed the cat," it seems that people often fail to abide by this cautionary advice. In this particular instance, there is video footage that showcases this curiosity, where a man enters a glass structure in the snow to explore. If the video is here, then you know that it didn't go so well. Shortly after, a polar bear approaches the structure to inspect it. The bear is not merely observing, but also clawing and attempting to bite through the glass to get to the man inside. However, to everyone's surprise, the man appears to be unfazed by the bear's behavior and continues to remain inside the glass structure. One comment that caught my attention read, "Lunchbox isn't opening." My favorite comment at the end of the day is this particular one. I mean, what if? In this next clip, a bird farmer is seen entering the enclosure of her birds to check up on and possibly feed them. As she steps inside, all the birds start running around, chirping and flapping their wings. Suddenly, something strange happens. All the birds freeze in place as if time has stopped. The only bird that remains unfazed is the one in the middle, who continues to peck at the food in front of it. Just look at that, all frozen in time. But could this be a glitch in the Matrix, or what do you think? Let's see what people had to say about it. There was one common explanation between people, and that is, this is a normal thing among birds to be frozen in time when they sense danger. According to experts, when birds sense a threat, they go into a state of shock, also known as tonic immobility. This response is a survival mechanism that helps them avoid being detected by predators who are less likely to attack prey that appears to be dead. In the case of the bird farmer, it's possible that the sudden appearance of their owner caused the birds to react this way. However, it's also possible that they were reacting to something else entirely, such as a loud noise, a sudden movement, or even a predator. We can't, however, state with certainty what it is without any more evidence. This Trailcam capture indeed presents a rare and fascinating spectacle, one that has stirred the curiosity of both enthusiasts and skeptics alike. Most Bigfoot encounters and footage feature solitary individuals, making this sighting all the more intriguing. In this remarkable image, we are presented with not one, but two enigmatic creatures standing in what appears to be a unique interaction. The creature on the right, shrouded in dark fur, stands tall, its height almost mirroring that of the surrounding trees. In contrast, the figure on the left assumes a distinctive posture, seemingly in a kneeling or crouching position, and features a distinctive brown fur. The nature of the exchange between these two beings remains an enigma, one that sparks the imagination and invites a multitude of interpretations. Are they engaged in some form of communication or ritual? Are they observing something in the distance, or is this a chance encounter in the depths of the wilderness? This capture, with its unique portrayal of two potential Bigfoot individuals, adds another layer to the ongoing quest to unravel the secrets of these elusive creatures. In the realm of social media influencers, there's always a niche for every talent and interest. Enter Throat King Sings, renowned for his unique deep throat sounds used in meditation. But what sets him apart isn't just his human audience. It seems that his mesmerizing sounds also resonate with nature's creatures and perhaps even the paranormal. In one of his videos, as Throat King sings serenades in a picturesque field, he inadvertently captures the attention of a curious deer. The majestic animal is drawn to the ethereal sounds, seemingly enchanted by the vibrations echoing through the serene landscape. However, what makes this footage truly intriguing is what lurks in the background. Behind the inquisitive deer, emerging from the thick bushes, are two mysterious entities. Cryptids, perhaps? Their sudden appearance suggests that they too were inexplicably pulled towards the captivating sounds of Throat King Sings. It raises a host of questions. Who are these enigmatic figures? What draws them to these hauntingly beautiful sounds? Are they merely curious observers, or do they share a deeper connection with the mystical vibrations of Throat King Sing's meditation? If you thought a car on water was amazing, wait till you see this. Imagine a bus that could run on a nuclear reactor. That's exactly what this bus is. But as much as I wouldn't want to burst your bubble, the Cyclops is a fictional vehicle made from the 1976 movie The Big Bus, and that's all there is to it. This remarkable mode of transport was designed to travel across the country without ever needing to stop for fuel. Just think about the possibilities. The Cyclops could have changed the way we travel forever with its revolutionary technology, if it were real. A nuclear-powered bus would have been a game-changer in the transportation industry, offering a cleaner and more efficient way to travel. Unfortunately, the Cyclops only exists in the world of fiction. Nevertheless, it's fascinating to think about what could have been if this incredible vehicle was made reality. Perhaps someday, someone will create a real-life Cyclops that can revolutionize the way we travel. Still on strange water sightings, we've got another one, but this time in the waters of Mexico. This spectacle was captured by a couple who were walking on a boardwalk by the shores of Veracruz. What makes this incident more peculiar is that residents reported that they wasn't just the first time this had happened, making it even more intriguing. It's highly unusual if this is a natural disaster, as it is not naturally possible for such an event to occur. A whirlpool appearing and disappearing at will Could we be looking at some sort of portal or some sort of scientific experiment going on in broad daylight? It's possible that this couple happened to be at the location at the exact same time when the entity responsible for this passage opened it. It looks like a scene from a sci-fi movie. Our next clip involves a group of adventurous friends on an intriguing journey aboard a distinctive blue metallic boat, navigating through an unfamiliar and somewhat enigmatic body of water. Their excursion was already underway, with one of the friends diligently capturing this momentous experience on camera. The atmosphere suddenly changed when one of them decided to dip their hand into the water out of sheer curiosity. In an unexpected turn of events, an unseen force latched onto the hand, prompting a swift and panicked reaction from the group on board. This spine-tingling incident served as one abrupt awakening, compelling the friends to peer anxiously into the water, scanning for any signs of impending danger. Moments passed with an eerie calm, until a seemingly innocent plastic water bottle caught their attention as it drifted away on the murky surface. Their eyes widened as a mysterious hand emerged from the depths, snatching the bottle with an almost preternatural swiftness before vanishing beneath the water's obscurity once more. Upon replaying the scene, we discern a large, otherworldly hand adorned in striking blue and white hues, its appearance oddly reminiscent of a tool used for trimming hedges. Speculations abound, with some quick to label it as a mermaid, while others prefer to refer to it simply as the unknown. What do you think we're dealing with here? Do you have any experiences or stories to share? Please do so in the comments section. We'd really love to read it. If you have made it this far and haven't hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment, could you do that before we go on? Thank you very much, as it means a lot. Anyway, coming back to the episode. In a forest in the United States, the camera captures numerous tree outlines as it glides over the area. A mysterious creature is, however, seen in motion on the trail. This shouldn't be a big deal, but that's until you notice the running pattern of the creature caught on camera. From the capture, we can tell you that it's an animal, or at least a beast of some kind, but it runs on 2 feet like a human would. The humanoid figure somehow resembles an ape-like creature, possibly from the gorilla family. Its running pattern is what makes it distinct from a gorilla despite its large belly. This can only be one thing, and I'm sure we are thinking the same: Bigfoot. While one type of light has been explained by experts to be a satellite launch into space, I doubt if that is the same explanation for this. These strange horizontal streaks of light were captured over Mauna Kea, an inactive volcano in Hawaii, on 28th of January 2023. They looked like green lasers coming from the sky onto the Earth. Many who saw it saw a Matrix reference and didn't hesitate to point it out. And there seems to be several people who have made claims of seeing these lights before. However, after much speculation, an explanation was finally given from one of the unlikeliest sources. Experts at the National Astronomical Observatory of Japan, which co-owns the camera, announced on Twitter that the source was a radar device of an orbiting satellite known as ICE-SAT-2, which is owned by NASA. These reports were soon refuted by NAOJ themselves, again on the 6th of February. They apologized and said that based on the trajectory, the source of the laser beam was unlikely NASA. This was confirmed by Dr. Martino Antony Jr., a NASA scientist working on ICE-SAT-2 Atlas, and his colleague Dr. Alvaro Ivanov. They did a simulation and suggested that the potential source is the Chinese Daqi-1 AEMS satellite's ACDL instrument, Science Alert reported. Now, there's a lot we can say about this, but I'll leave it to you guys. What do you make of the information I've presented? Is there something fishy going on here, or could it just be information and misunderstanding between some of the top minds in the world? The creature looks like a frog, but with the ability to stand on two legs. Its movements are similar to a bird as it perks up every few seconds. At first glance, anyone would be lost as to what the creature truly is. After a little digging around, and with a lot of help from the comments section of the original post, I discovered that the creature bears a striking resemblance to the mythical Murloc from the Warcraft series. The Murloc is a fictional creature known for its amphibious nature, savage behavior, and primitive society. These creatures have bulbous bodies, large mouths with sharp fangs, and slimy skin. According to Wiki of the creature, they primarily inhabit coastal areas and come in a variety of colors, with some resembling frogs or fish, while others resemble red-eyed tree frogs, as is the case with the creature we are currently observing. In Warcraft lore, Murlocs are hostile creatures that often attack travelers and settlements in large groups. They're known for their distinctive gurgling sounds and are feared by many in the game's universe. Now, how does a fictional game character suddenly come to life in our own? No one really knows, unless, of course, the writer found the creatures, spoke to no one about them, and decided to use them for his own militaristic purposes. Either that or this clip is definitely CGI, but as I always state, until we have enough evidence, nothing can be disproved, despite how ridiculous it looks and sounds. What do you think about the whole thing, though? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Now, in all our previous bonus footage, we had an animal for you to identify. Today, I thought we'd take it up a notch. Can you identify the creature making that blood-curdling noise? If you can, please head over to the comments section and tell us. The first accurate comment will be featured in our future videos. Trust me when I tell you this is an opportunity you don't want to miss. Start your comment with bonus footage so we easily identify it. All the best. Next, we have a creature standing in a field, and at first glance, it might appear to be a simple stray dog. But hold onto your hats, because the owner of this footage firmly believes that they've captured none other than the infamous chupacabra. For those unfamiliar with the creature, it's a dog-like creature that feeds on the blood of livestock. Upon close examination of the footage, you might notice that despite claims of it being a chupacabra, it looks surprisingly ordinary. Is this a case of mistaken identity, or has the elusive chupacabra truly been caught on camera? Perhaps it's become more adept at blending in than we've given it credit for. What do you think? The vast and mysterious ocean is considered one of the largest unexplored territories on Earth and is home to a plethora of conspiracies and creatures that remain unknown to man. One of the most popular and captivating mythical beings that the ocean is said to host is the mermaid. These magical creatures are often depicted with the upper bodies of humans and the lower bodies of fish and have been a part of human folklore for centuries. Puerto Rico, a beautiful coastal area, is no exception to this. It has its collection of mermaid legends and folklore which have been passed down through generations. Known as sirenas in Spanish, these stories may vary across different regions and communities, but the allure of mermaids remains a prominent feature of Puerto Rican folklore. In this footage, a group of people who were out fishing had an extraordinary experience. As they were on the surface, they noticed a blue glow in the water close to their boat. The glow followed them for a while before they noticed the silhouette of a human-like creature in the water. Although this sighting was different from the unusual mermaid sightings, it has left many people convinced it's the real deal. Some even suspect it might be alien. But what do you think? The sky has been a subject of fascination for humans for centuries. Despite the numerous sightings of strange objects in the sky, there are still some more sightings that continue to get viewers in a frenzy. Take a look at this particular one. This peculiar cloud with flashing lights was spotted in North Philadelphia. The unusual mass descended from the sky and vanished behind a house in the vicinity. That's definitely not how clouds are supposed to act, and the sighting quickly gained a lot of attention and even made it to Fox and ABC News. It, however, appears that this was not the first time people had seen this. Many people in the comments section also testified to seeing this strange cloud falling out of the sky at other times within the same area. There were even some from other parts of the world who claimed to have seen it in their regions too. Others had a range of opinions about what this could be. One commenter suggested that this was a drone cloaked as a cloud. Another commenter was convinced that this was a UFO. He even made a subtle argument that the flashing lights were evidence of extraterrestrial activity, and countless others agreed with him. Despite the evidence and buzz around it, a number of individuals in the paranormal community think the whole thing is a hoax meant to throw the community in disarray. You've seen the clip yourself. What do you think? Well, grab your crucifixes and holy water for this next footage. This footage was taken by a woman in Mexico. This baby sitting here is known as the vampire doll. Yes, you heard that right, a vampire doll. This pint-sized Terra is decked out in a white dress, and as if that wasn't unsettling enough, it's clutching a feeding bottle filled with a vivid red liquid that can only be described as blood-like. But the real soul-chilling thing about it is its eyes. Those beady little orbs seem to track the individuals filming every move. Now, folks have their theories about this pint-sized harbinger of chills. Some say it's a demon doll, a cousin to the infamous Chucky. Others, perhaps a tad more rational, might argue it's just a cleverly designed toy with a penchant for optics. But if you ask me, I'd side with the cautious. Perhaps a splash of holy water and a healthy dose of fire wouldn't be amiss when it comes to dealing with such a doll. After all, who's ready to let something straight out of a nightmare haunt their dreams? Not me, that's for sure. Well, we've certainly stumbled upon something that's a head-scratcher. In the world of Trailcam mysteries, this one's a real enigma. Picture this, a vast open field, and in the middle of it all stands a creature that's, well, peculiar to say the least. This oddity is a sight to behold. It's covered in what seems like tattered rags from head to toe. Its skin appears burnt, giving it an eerie and unsettling appearance. Take a look at those fingers, claw-like and asymmetrical, with one seemingly larger than the other. It's safe to say this is no ordinary sighting. Now, the million-dollar question is, what on earth is this creature? The size alone rules out a mere hoax unless we're dealing with a child in an exceptionally bizarre costume or a CGI creation. Which do you think it is, real or an elaborate hoax to deceive us? Share your thoughts in the comments section. What do you see when you watch this clip? For many, it might be a reptile or dinosaur-looking thing, but for those in the Scottish Highlands, this might just be the real-life footage of the Loch Ness Monster. For those unfamiliar with it, the elusive creature, often described as a serpent or dragon-like beast, is said to inhabit the deep, murky waters of Scotland's Loch Ness, the largest freshwater lake in the British Isles. Legends and folklore surrounding the existence of this mysterious creature have been passed down through generations of Scottish culture, with sightings and encounters dating back to ancient times. In fact, the first written account of a sighting of the Loch Ness Monster dates back to the year 565 AD, when a missionary named St. Columba claimed to have seen a water beast in the lake. Since then, countless reports and sightings have been recorded, with witnesses describing the creature as having a long serpentine body, a large head, and often a pair of humps protruding from the water. Reverting to the clip, a number of individuals who saw it stated there was no way it could be real. An example is this comment. The user points out something critical they observed. The creature's front fins don't disturb the water. I didn't notice it before, but after going back to watch the clip, I must say that it does look like a hot knife going through butter. It almost looks unreal. If the concerns of the commentator are to be believed, then this certainly is a reason to believe that the clip might indeed be doctored or simply put a CGI creation. But then again, perhaps my skill in cinematography might be lacking. Has this been the only sighting? Well, not exactly. In April of 1933, a couple reported seeing an enormous creature crossing the road in front of their car near the lock. This sighting sparked widespread media attention, and soon afterward, numerous additional sightings, including eyewitness accounts, photographs, and alleged film footage purported to show the creature, were reported. In the decades that followed, numerous scientific expeditions and investigations were launched to study the phenomenon. Various methods were used, including sonar surveys, underwater photography, and DNA analysis of the loch's waters. While some studies yielded inconclusive results, others suggested that the reported sightings could be attributed to natural phenomena or misidentification of known animals. Despite this, the legend of the Loch Ness Monster continues to captivate the public's imagination, and the mystery surrounding it remains unsolved. Now, what do we have here? A dry, dead fish is brought back to life by a drop of water. What sorcery is this? Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the zombie fish. Not zombie in the way of eating brains, of course, but the ability to spring back to life. This fish is what many call the suckermouth catfish or pleco. These fish are found in ponds and rivers in South America and have an incredible ability to survive in extreme conditions. When their natural habitat dries up, they bury themselves in the mud and go into a state of suspended animation known as aestivation. During this period, they can survive without water or food for several months. Their metabolism slows down to the point where they require very little oxygen, and their body becomes dehydrated, as you can see in this footage. But they don't die. When the rains come and their habitat is reflooded, the fish rehydrate and come back to life. In this case, the fish was responding to the drops of water being poured on it. It might seem like a miraculous resurrection, but it's just their fantastic ability to survive extreme conditions. Going alone into the depths of the woods can be a test of one's courage and sanity, as this brave YouTuber from the channel Abandoned 6.7 discovered. Amidst the trees, almost beyond the reach of the camera's lens, a pale figure moved with an unsettling speed and unpredictability. It darted back and forth, raising more questions than answers. What kind of creature could move in such a manner? Was it a wild animal, or did he inadvertently stumble upon something even more enigmatic, like a legendary skinwalker? In search of adventure, he set up a camp in the heart of the wilderness, preparing for an overnight stay that would forever etch itself into his memory. During his solitary sojourn, strange occurrences began to unfold. The peace of the woods was periodically shattered by unexplained noises, and his campfire seemed to bear the brunt of some unseen presence's curiosity. His tent, on more than one occasion, bore the signs of tampering, as if something or someone had been probing at the edges of his reality. The climax of this eerie adventure came when he managed to capture the unsettling footage you just watched on his camera. The fact that we're discussing this video now suggests that the YouTuber made it out of the woods unscathed, but the mysteries of the wilderness remain lurking just out of sight, waiting for the next curious soul to uncover them. Prepare to be astounded by the next footage. A family embarked on a tranquil hike in the woods, seeking the beauty of nature. Their trip is, however, interrupted when they stumble upon something profoundly strange. Captivated, they grab their cameras, and the footage is what you see unfolding before your very eyes. Amidst the towering trees, a figure of astonishing peculiarity takes shape. It manifests and then retreats, seemingly merging with the verdant tapestry of the forest. This disappearance is but for a short moment as it reappears a moment later, stepping boldly into view before vanishing into the heart of the woods. Were you able to catch a glimpse of it before its disappearance? What does it remind you of? Upon closer examination of the footage, you'll notice that this creature is bipedal despite its ape-like build and fur. It starts off with the gorilla walk, then leaps and then jumps. There are no apes that can do that, right? If that's no ape, then what creature could it be? The answer is pretty simple, really. It's the legendary Bigfoot. But in Russia, is there anyone with any experience or stories of these magnificent cryptids in Russia? If there is, please enlighten us, as we'd love to know. While we ponder the reality of that video, we still have things to figure out, like this footage, for instance.
We're either being surrounded by friggin' UFOs or the Coast Guard. I want us in. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 lights we see there. They've been coming on. They were 7 lights.
In this intriguing story, a fisherman's adventure at sea took an unexpected turn when he captured some mysterious footage on his camcorder. The footage shows the beautiful orange horizon as the sun sets, and the camera pans to the distance where a red light is seen. The fisherman then zooms in to capture a closer view, but the footage becomes shaky and unsteady. Suddenly, the camera cuts to a view of more than a dozen of these red lights in the sky, which the fisherman claims to be UFOs that have been trailing his boat for a while. While this man's account of the event is fascinating, the footage is not clear enough to identify what those lights were. Despite the fisherman's claims, some were skeptical about the encounter. Some even registered their frustration about the clip being from afar. One even suggested that they should have moved closer to allow the ships to get near enough for a good shot of the ship. That has me wondering, in what world is that logical?
The state of Florida looked up into the air this morning to see a bright light streaking across the dark sky. Was it a plane?
Still on strange lights in the sky, we visit Florida, where a streak of light was seen in the night sky. It was a bright orb in the center with a beam of light diverging into the sky. It was quite the spectacle that also sparked a lot of frenzy and chaos among the residents. Once again, experts came to clarify that this was just a rocket being launched. However, people were not very convinced, and this is what they had to say. Many called it fake news. The majority were convinced that this could all be covered up for something nefarious going on there. One comment, however, got my attention, and it read, "Aren't rockets supposed to fly vertically, not horizontally?" Now, that's a good question, so I looked it up, and it turns out, not really. This is because launching vertically allows rockets to efficiently escape Earth's atmosphere, which requires a significant amount of thrust. However, once a rocket reaches a certain altitude and velocity, it can adjust its trajectory to move horizontally if that's what the mission requires. Another person argued that if there was indeed a rocket launch, there would have been some form of announcement. We can't confirm if there was or not, but what do you guys make of these theories and speculation? Venturing deep into the woods can lead to unexpected and mystifying encounters, just like the one captured in this footage. As we watch, it's hard not to get excited. The individual behind the camera appears to be taking precautions, maintaining a safe distance from the enigmatic figure emerging from the underbrush. And what we see is a creature that has stirred imaginations for generations: Bigfoot. With its intriguing mix of human and ape-like features and its towering presence, it's no wonder Bigfoot remains an enduring enigma. Now, if this footage is genuine, then you have to wonder, where is this creature headed? Why is it moving around without a care during the daytime? Is it because it was not expecting any humans around, or is it because it simply doesn't care? It's hard to tell, but what do you think? Would you buy parts from a haunted car? Did that question sound bizarre? Then perhaps it's because you haven't seen our next footage. This recorder named Garcia can be seen showcasing all the car models parked in this dusty vicinity. This particular black car has a dark history that involved a crash and the demise of its owner. Despite its history, many wanted parts, so Garcia, who is the man recording, proceeds to examine the car, showcasing its condition as clearly as possible. While checking the back seats, the car, without a driver in the front seat, abruptly starts moving. Garcia is clearly frightened by this sudden movement, and he vocalizes his shock, which leaves us wondering about the cause. Apparently, this isn't the first of such encounters, but the first time he's ever caught it on tape. What could be causing the car to move on its own? The deceased owner who doesn't want his car torn apart, or Garcia himself playing around for some views? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. We'd really love to hear them. In this next footage, a group of guys find themselves in the midst of a bone-chilling encounter in the woods at night, and it's enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. Their purpose for venturing into the woods remains unknown, but what unfolds is a true test of their courage. As they navigate through the darkness, the group becomes aware of a pair of glowing red eyes stalking them from a distance. Fear grips them, and they break into a panicked run. Soon they come across a body of water within the woods, compelling them to board a boat for safety. The last person left behind is forced to make a daring leap from a rocky ledge and swim towards the boat. To their horror, they realize that the red-eyed creature also plunges into the water, relentlessly chasing after them. Even as they reach land and make their way back to their car, the creature continues its pursuit, refusing to relent. In the flashes of light, you catch glimpses of the creature, a humanoid form with pale skin, moving swiftly on all fours. Those who have seen the footage speculate that this could be a skinwalker, an entity capable of shape-shifting into humans or animals. However, the presence of glowing eyes adds an eerie twist to the tale, raising questions about the true nature of this creature. Who are these guys? We may never know, but their harrowing reaction speaks volumes. It's clear that this encounter has left an indelible mark on their psyche, forever dissuading them from venturing into the woods again. In this footage is a black bear that has gotten too close to a Trailcam and attempted to destroy it. Behind our furry friend, a scene of scattered tree branches fallen from great heights creates a picturesque backdrop. Leaves and overgrown weeds add to the natural tapestry surrounding the bear. It's a reminder of the untamed wilderness and the fierce beauty of nature. Despite its efforts, the black bear is unable to dislodge the camera from the tree or cause any damage to it. Finally accepting its defeat, the bear quickly retreats into the vast surrounding area, possibly in shame. If at this point you still disagree with the existence of ghosts, sit tight as I bring you more insights on this. In the footage, we see a man in the woods with his dog. I'm not exactly sure how the footage is being captured, but it might be a body cam or a head cam. Now pay attention to the footage. You'll notice a strange ghostly creature moving at the top right corner of the footage. The skeptic in me would have immediately called it a hoax, but look at the mannerisms of the dog. It picks up the being and also looks in that direction. This means that whatever was moving there is really there. Now, the question of its authenticity is another ballgame altogether. Could it be a man in a costume, or is it really a ghost moving through the woods? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Ghosts. They've been the subject of tales and folklore for centuries, haven't they? The idea of our dearly departed neighbors wandering the earthly realm with unfinished business, it's enough to send a shiver down anyone's spine. Now let's talk about this intriguing security camera footage. In the dead of night, we see a lone figure strolling along clutching a trusty flashlight. Nothing too unusual there, right? But here's where it gets hair-raising. Right as this person passes by, another figure emerges, shadowy and ethereal in form. It's like something out of a classic ghost story. This second figure is not your typical late-night wanderer. He or she appears hazy, translucent, and within the blink of an eye, it vanishes into thin air. Now, some might argue that this could be a result of some pretty impressive video editing, and in today's digital age, that's a valid point. But personally, I doubt it is. This footage looks like the real deal, if you ask me. If it is, was that a ghost, or is it an otherworldly creature trying to materialize in ours? You tell me. The wonders of nature and its intricate dynamics never cease to amaze us. In this intriguing trail capture, we bear witness to a remarkable encounter between a deer and an enigmatic creature that defies easy classification. Let's dive into the details. As you examine the picture, your eyes are drawn to the deer locked in a defensive stance facing off against this mysterious entity. The creature, poised and ready to strike, exudes a sense of imminent danger. Its appearance, however, leaves us puzzled. Dark fur, glowing eyes, and an absence of a tail, all of these unique characteristics make it challenging to attribute this creature to any known animal species. This raises an intriguing possibility. Could we be in the presence of a mystical creature such as a skinwalker? The concept of shape-shifting beings capable of assuming various forms has long fascinated and terrified our imaginations. While speculative, the peculiar traits exhibited by this creature certainly fuel the speculation that it could belong to the realm of the mystical. But, my curious friend, the quest for truth requires open minds and critical thinking. As we navigate through the realms of mystery and the unexplained, it's essential to consider alternative possibilities remain grounded in scientific inquiry. Further analysis and investigation are necessary to unravel the true nature of this enigmatic encounter.
So did y'all know that over 95% of wisdom teeth removals are completely unnecessary? And in the last 15 years, this industry has become a multi-billion-dollar industry by just yanking out your wisdom teeth.
Have you ever wondered why so many people get their wisdom teeth removed? Well, there's an interesting theory going around that might change how you see it. In this clip, a man shares his perspective, saying that removing wisdom teeth isn't always necessary, even if they grow sideways. He claims that over time they will settle in without causing harm. But what really stands out is his belief that wisdom teeth are connected to our consciousness. He suggests that the left wisdom tooth is linked to the heart and the endocrine system, which he associates with our third eye, a concept often tied to intuition and deeper awareness. According to him, removing wisdom teeth could be like taking away part of your consciousness or connection to that intuitive self. This is a pretty alarming thought. If there's any truth to it, it raises questions about the deeper role that these teeth might play beyond just our physical presence. What do you think? Could there be more to wisdom teeth than we realize? Or is this just an unusual theory from someone hoping to get their 5 minutes of fame? Share your thoughts.
So did y'all know that over 95% of wisdom teeth removals are completely unnecessary? And in the last 15 years, this industry has become a multi-billion-dollar industry by just yanking out your wisdom teeth.
And with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Share this video with someone you love, and I will see you in the next one.